Hi everybody. I just wanted to encourage you as Christians to not be scared to use your imagination. And the reason why I was actually thinking about that and why that actually came to my mind was that I was remembering a time where I was imagining myself walking along the beach with Jesus, and I could smell the sea air, I could hear the waves, I could feel the warm sun on my skin, and I could feel the soft sand between my toes. And it was really peaceful, and it was really real in my mind's eye. But do you know what happened? I asked Jesus a serious question, and I asked him a question about my career, and he answered. We had a full-on conversation in my imagination. What I want to say to you is, don't limit how God speaks to you. The imagination that I had connected me with the Lord. How do I know? Well, the advice that he gave me about my career, that obviously I took, it came to pass a couple of days later. I would have been in shtuck if I hadn't have taken his advice that he gave me, and there was no way that I would have known what was going to happen. There was absolutely no way, but he did. And you know what? It saved me literally thousands of pounds. It saved me from being up the creek without a paddle, so to speak. I mean, he stopped me from making a huge mistake. And because he could see what was going to happen. Obviously I couldn't, but he could. I mean, it was amazing. And all this from my imagination. Listen, some Christians are scared to use their imagination because they think it's New Age or something. No. New Agers have just cottoned onto something that we should have realised long ago. Don't be scared to use your imagination. God gave you that beautiful imagination. He gave you that beautiful creativity. Why? Well, because he's a good God and he's a loving Father. But also because he knew it would be another way that we could connect to him, that he could communicate with us, and vice versa. Think about it. Don't try and put God in a box. You can try. I don't think God will fit in a box. Don't put yourself in a box. With God, everything is possible. We're the ones that put limits on ourselves. Imagination is good. You know, think about it. The way that some of you may have experienced God speaking to you, lots of different ways. I know I have. And they've all been genuine ways. Some have been really quite almost random, seemingly random. But I know it's been God speaking. Then think about it in the Bible, the ways that he spoke to people. We had a burning bush, angels, dreams, visions, a donkey. I mean, seriously, we cannot limit the way that God speaks to us. Imagination is good. So many great things have come from imagination. Okay, can the enemy use our imagination for something bad? Of course. But isn't that what the enemy does? Doesn't the enemy always try to twist things that are good? This is what he does. He twists good things. Marriage. Sex. Love. Money. He's twisted all of these things so that Christians are scared of claiming them for their own. Yes, there are some Christians, even within marriage, that feel funny about having sex because the devil's twisted it somehow. There are Christians out there that believe money is evil. The Bible does not say that. Check it. So let's look more closely about this word imaginations. The Bible tells us to cast down imaginations. That's in 2 Corinthians 10:5. But that's where some Christians have stayed. They've read this in their version, because it's different in other different words in different versions. Cast down imaginations. So they've stayed there. You know, you need to read the rest of the verse. Let me just now my Bible is New King James Version. I like to read lots of different versions to compare. But 2 Corinthians 10:5 in my version says, casting down arguments, and every high thing that exalts itself against the knowledge of God, bringing every thought into captivity to the obedience of Christ. So my version says arguments. Other versions we know says imaginations. So looking at this word imaginations, if you check it in the Greek, I believe it's logismos, which means reasoning or thinking. I mean, it sounds like logical, doesn't it? Logismos. So it means reasoning or thinking. It's calculated arguments and thoughts. It emphasises reaching a personal opinion. Other translations, when I was looking at other translations, they use the words, instead of imaginations and arguments, they use speculation, and I mean, again, they use reasonings, and they use intellectual arrogance. Not really the creative imagination that I'm talking about. Imagination is good. When I used my imagination, I didn't calculate the Lord's answer. I could not have known what was going to happen to me in a couple of days' time. I just went with the flow, and that flow connected me to him. Your imagination is a God-given opportunity to not only be creative, but it's a way to connect to the Lord. It really is. Can our imaginations get corrupted? Well, yes. That's why it's so important to be aware what you are feeding into your portals. These are your portals, your eyes and your ears. Portals. Generally, you can't unsee something and you can't unhear something, so treat your portals with respect. They are portals through which your imagination can connect to the spirit realm, to the Lord, and reality. That's our reality. So don't be scared to use your imagination. It's yours. Use it. Be creative. God bless you, who you are in Him.